Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this weekly Zohar connection class. These classes are unique to that particular week. Every week we are connecting to a different energy. Every week we are connecting to a different knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's going to help us to go through that week. Also, this connection, this wisdom, preparing us for the upcoming event. Like we have in less than a month, we have Rosh Hashanah. So this connection, this wisdom, this class, going to prepare us for the high holidays. The high holidays, like we spoke many times before, is a judgment time. We are standing in front of the judge. We are being judged for our action, talk, and speech we had for the past year. We are being judged for our character. And in our system, there is no punishment. We're being judged how much light, how much blessing we're going to receive for the following year. We give this example. If you're going to have 10 challenges next year, so if I get 5 units of light, I'm going to have a tough year. But if I'm going to receive 20 units of light, it's going to be a wonderful year. So we have a chance by connecting to this class, by connecting to this wisdom. We have a chance to shift, to uplift, to change our destiny for the next year. This week's connection, this week's lesson, this week's Torah portion is Shoftim v'Shotrim. Shoftim means judges and Shotrim means policemen. So the name of this portion is judges and policemen. And it's not an accident. We just started the month of Virgo 2 days ago. And as you know, the characteristic of a Virgo is that they are analyzing, they are looking into details, they are judging, they are the good lawyers, they are the good judges. So always this portion falls in the beginning of the sign of Virgo, month of Virgo. The energy of judging, the energy of analyzing, looking into details, researching is available for all of us during this month. We have 30 days to Rosh Hashanah and we have 40 days to Yom Kippur. The bad thing about judging is that we are judging others. We are constantly judging other people, judging other situations. This gift, this energy of Virgo was not meant for us to judge others. It's meant to judge ourselves. As any other character, we can use it in a good way and we can use it in a bad way. It's not actually us, the ego using this character, this power, this energy to judge other people and benefit itself. But if we let our soul, our good conscience, to use this judging, this power of looking into details within ourselves, look into ourselves, cleanse ourselves, see what's good and bad with ourselves, then we can change our destiny. Can we have the air for a few minutes? If you remember the astrology classes, like there is one phrase for every sign. Like Aries is I know, then we have Taurus is I have, Gemini is I think, Cancer is I feel, and then I don't remember the one for Leo. It must be something, you know, doing with the lion. I'm the king.
I can.
Huh?
I can.
I can, maybe.
Okay.
And then when it comes to Virgo, it's I analyze. I analyze. So again, this gift of Virgo for analyzing, judging, and looking into details. It's not meant to be for other people. It's meant to be for us, for our own judgment. When it comes to judgment, we are the best judges when it comes to judging others. We get A+. But when it comes to judging ourselves, we get like F-. You know, we fail to judge ourselves. We don't want to judge ourselves. We don't want to look into ourselves. This is a huge challenge. It's a huge change of nature for us. We like looking outside, but we don't like to look inside. One of the biggest punishment in our society is to imprison somebody, to put somebody in prison by himself. And that prisoner hates himself. You know why? Because there is nobody to deal with, nobody to judge. He has to judge himself. He doesn't have no choice without, you know, looking into himself, into his action, his thoughts, his character. So the biggest punishment is to make us look, you know, within ourselves. We don't like that. We hate it. And it seems to be very, very difficult because we have to penetrate this klipa of the ego. We have to penetrate this, you know, bubble of the ego. And it's very difficult to do. There is one concept that, you know, we bribe ourselves. We bribe our judges and our policemen because our ego benefit us. We don't want to look into ourselves because maybe my anger, you know, does something good for me. My judgments make me feel better. My jealousy, you know, give me pleasure. So we don't like to look into ourselves because we have to break and destroy our own ego. And this is the last thing we want to do because the ego benefits us, but the ego serves us in a wrong way. Not, of course, not in a good way. So the month of Virgo, or the next 30 days and 40 days, we have to learn to look into ourselves. Forget about judging others. Judging others comes from not being secure about yourself. Judging others comes because you have fault, you are hiding, we don't have confidence. So we have a security issue. So in this coming month, all the judgment, all the analyzing, all the detailed lookings come within ourselves. And we have to go beyond this ego that doesn't let us look into ourselves. Like I said, you know, the ego is serving us in a way. We enjoy getting angry. We enjoy being hateful. We enjoy judging other people. It's damaging, but this ego turn around the game, turn around the picture that it's benefit us. So, in order for me to judge myself, I have to know myself. You know, honestly, we don't know ourselves. We got involved in so many stories, in so many scenarios, in so many different ways and shapes that we don't know ourselves. You can't judge yourself if you don't know yourself. So we have to get to know ourselves. We have to get to know our characters. We have to know how much goodness, how much bad there is within us. You know, our goal is to have fulfillment in all aspects of life. We want fulfillment in financial, in relationship, finding soulmate, in business, success, health, happiness. But how do you find this fulfillment even if you don't know yourself? We've been lost for so many years. We don't reach our goals. We don't reach our fulfillment because we don't know ourselves. And knowing myself is knowing my purpose in life. Are we within the 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
So we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook viewers. They can follow up in our website, earthculturecenter.org, for the rest of the class. Thank you. So we have to know ourselves. We have to know our purpose. We have to investigate who we are, what we are, in order so we can separate the good and bad, and then reach our fulfillment. If you're too cold, you can turn it off right now, Nilüfer.
I don't touch it.
So the main formula. Before we're going to get there, why shoftim and shotrim? Why judges and policemen? Let's read from the Torah. That's how this portion starts. I'm going to read in English. Judges and officers shall you make in all your gates, which the Lord your God gives you, tribe by tribe, and they shall judge the people with righteous judgment. And there is another sentence following up, is a very famous sentence in Israel and in Hebrew, tzedek, tzedek. Justice, justice shall you follow, that you may live and inherit the land which is the Lord your God gives you. So it says, put judges and policemen in your gates, so you're going to have blessing and all the goodness and all the happiness and all the fulfillment. We spoke about this in the years before. Arya Kadosh explains that in a simple way, the gates that the Torah is talking about is the gates within our body. Our eyes, our mouth, our ears. He says put a judge and policeman within your eyes. Are you looking at the right thing? Are you looking at the life with a bad eye, ain hara like in Hebrew? Or you're looking with a good eye? And why policeman? We need a judge to separate good and bad, and we need a policeman to execute it, to execute the judgment of the judge. Maybe my belief system, yeah, this is good, this is bad, but like I said, the ego forces us to go for the bad. So it's fine that our belief system is right, but then we need to execute the judgment. I have to have a judge and an officer on my ears. Am I listening to Lashon Hara? Am I listening to the wrong philosophy? You know, am I putting myself in a position like you lovely people to hear the wisdom of the Torah? And you have to definitely, the biggest judge and the biggest officer is our mouth. What goes into our mouth and what comes out of our mouth. Am I speaking ugly? Am I speaking the wrong language? Am I empowering people or putting down people? So you have to put judges and officers in all your gates in order to cleanse and purify ourselves for the high holidays. We have to do this during the whole year, but we are like 1 minute before showing up in front of the judge. We have to put the maximum effort right now. And Ari takes it even in a higher level, that why we have to put a shofet, a judge and a policeman in our gates. Ari says that nighttime when we sleep, you know, our soul descends to the higher level. It descends to Zera and Pin. It depends how pure it is, how cleansed it is, the higher it descends. It can go all the way to Bina, or it can be stuck in Malchut. You know, some mornings we wake up and we have nightmares. We had horrible dreams all night. Why? Because You know, the Ari says there are gates in heaven also, correspond to the gates of our body. So when we go in front of the gate and the judge doesn't let us in, because our conscience was not in the right place during that day. We were not wishing good, we were not talking good, we were not seeing good, we were not hearing good. So when our soul descends at night time, there are many gates. And they stop us at the gate that, you know, we are not worthy of. And in a good hand, some of you told me before that you dream about Avraham Avinu, you dream about Moshe Rabbeinu, wow. So all the gates were open for you that night. The judge let you in. The judge for that gate let you in. We dream about our ancestors, grandparents. So, like the way we are supposed to have a judge and policeman in our gates, there is a judge in a spiritual world that open or close the gate for us at night time. And we get amazing messages at night time. Without dreams, without visions, there is no way we can reach our maximum potential. We need these messages from our parents, Moshe Rabbeinu, Avraham Avinu. So we want those gates to open for us. So in order, and by the way, another explanation of what is judge and what is a policeman, in a Kabbalah language, the judge is our neshama, and the policeman is our ruach, the second part of our neshama. Why judge is our neshama? Neshama is the highest level of our belief system. So, you know, what are you made of? You know, what is right and wrong for you? Are you following any philosophy out there, or are you following the Torah? Where is your belief system? So, our judge should be the judge that, you know, the Etz HaChaim, the Torah and the Zohar, that judge goes by that. Our belief system, we want to be by the Torah and the Zohar. The good and bad. How do we know what's good and bad? The only good and bad, the absolute good and bad that we know is the Torah. And our Ruach is the policeman, is your character. Are you a wishy-washy officer? You get bribes? Or you are a strict officer? If you have a belief system, if you have a character, like he said, tzedek, if you are righteous, if your belief system is according to the Torah, are you righteous enough to follow those laws? So, it's a game between our belief system and our character. What is our belief system and how do I live my daily life? The other aspect of the month of Virgo that we just started, it's we have to analyze ourselves, we have to analyze our life, we have to analyze our relationship with other people, and we have to analyze our relationship with our Creator, with God. This is the only things we are supposed to judge and analyze. I repeat, we judge ourselves, our life, our relationship with other people, and my relationship with my Creator. In order for us to achieve this judging myself, we have to have a strong desire that I really want to change myself. If this year was like last year, if last year was like the year before, that means we haven't changed ourselves. I want you to understand we have a chance. We are capable of totally changing our destiny next year. In all aspects, financial, health, relationship. I know single people watching, finding your soulmate. It's within our hand. It's up to us. It's our responsibility. Don't look at it as, you know, don't wait for something to happen out there in order for your life to change. It's all up to you. And we're going to read from the Zohar. Whatever we're going to change within ourselves, true, honest change, not just pretending change. Whatever we're going to change in ourselves in the next month, it's going to determine what's going to happen to us next year. We can totally change our destiny. We can totally change the decree on us. We have the power. It's not up to anybody. I know we come and we pray for God and we ask for so many things. Right here in the Torah, right in the Zohar, it says it's all available for you, but it's up to you. It's up to you. If you change yourself, if you change our negativities, and there is a huge list that every day on Selichot they go through it. And we all have it. We all have it. But if we don't investigate, if we don't analyze, if we don't look at the details, we won't find these negativities. It's difficult to find it. The ego doesn't let us. In our eyes, everybody is wrong and I'm right. Everybody is taking advantage of me, cheating me, lying to me, stealing from me, but I'm the best person in the world. This system doesn't work this way. We want all the blessing come to you. Baruch Hashem, over the years, I see the change within you, I see the change within myself. We are gradually changing and receiving more blessing. But I want you to have this belief system. We are capable of totally changing our destiny for next year by removing all these bad characters, negative characters within ourselves. I know we all think we are the best person in the world, we are the best righteous, but we are not. We need to look in and analyze yourself deeply. So, there is two stories within the Torah this week that help us to, it gives us directions, give us ideas how we can look into ourselves. Before we get there, one of the, if you know the 10 Commandments, one of the commandments is respect your parents. So, in the word, in the Hebrew language, it's such a rich language. It says, kaved et avicha v'emecha. The word kavod, the numerical value is 32, and is related to chokhmah. Like the Bina has 50 gates of Bina, they call it 32 netivot of chokhmah. There's 32. So in reality, the Torah says, look into your parents, look into your father and mother with this wisdom. As children, we are correcting our parents. Whatever we go through in our life is something that our parents didn't complete, didn't fulfill. We are fulfilling the lack of our parents. If somebody's parents are religious, spiritual, so the children, they don't have to do anything about it anymore because the father is a righteous person. But maybe they have to, I don't know, love other people. They have to stop being selfish, and they have to care for other people. So all of us as the children to our parents, we are fulfilling the lack of our parents. So one way to look into ourselves is to look at our parents. Look at what they didn't achieve in their life in a spiritual way. What I need to complete in order to be done with this tikkun, with this correction. Because the chain of the family, there is a tikkun, there is a correction that coming down from our ancestors, grandparents, father, it comes down to us. As long as that tikkun is not going to be done, we're going to pass it, and if we don't fulfill it, we're going to pass it on to our children too. So If I'm an angry person and I'm never going to fix that anger, that issue going to pass on to our children also. So whatever tikkun, whatever challenge, whatever misfortune, or whatever obstacle there is in in our life, we inherited from ourselves actually, because we are the reincarnation of our ancestors. So by investigating into our parents, we can see what I need to correct in myself also. Now take it even further. Now take it even further. For whoever has children, our children, this is a tough, harsh lesson. Our children doing our correction. So whatever we are not going to complete, whatever we don't fix in ourselves, we are passing on to our children. And they already now trying to correct our characters. So there is a great question here, maybe I'm a righteous person now, I'm a good person now, but why our children, have a tough time? Why they're giving us a tough time? It's not because of who you are now, it's because who you were at the moment of a conceivement. So 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whoever you were, you pass on that seed, you pass on that tikkun to your children. But the reason I'm getting here, we have a chance in this Rosh Hashanah Kippur to give a better life to our children also. If finally I'm going to correct this tikkun that I inherited, then our children is going to have a better life. I know they've been conceived already, but in a quantum level, that if I change myself, if I change my character, if I correct my behavior now, then my children are going to benefit from it too. There is a saying that says that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Guess where it came from? This is it. So, if we are selfish about ourselves, you know what, I don't want to change, I enjoy gossiping, I enjoy my anger, I enjoy my hate, I enjoy my judgment, but indirectly, you are affecting your children's life too. So by correcting yourself now, they're going to have an easier baggage to deal with in their life. So now we're going to get to the stories of the Torah. There's two interesting stories in the Torah. The first one says that there is a man. This is right from the Torah. There is a man that chopping down a tree to build a house, and that tree falls down and kills somebody. That was not intentionally. It was trying to cut a tree to build a house. The tree fell on somebody, poor fellow, and he got killed. And they call it the city's Arei Miklat in Hebrew. In English, they call it shelter city. So the guy killed somebody intentionally, and the family of the guy that got killed, they are entitled of revenge or something. The Torah says they're entitled of killing the guy. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But in Israel at the time, in the Torah, they built this shelter city. If the guy that was chopping the tree and he killed somebody unintentionally, if he make it to that shelter city, nobody can touch him. He's protected there. For how long? As long as the Kohen Gadol is alive. So, what this story have to do with ourselves, that we are supposed to cleanse and purify ourselves for Rosh Hashanah and Kippur? Of course, the punishment of intentionally is much higher than unintentionally, but this is the facts that the Torah talks about. And Rabbi Berg, he says something very amazing. He says one day somebody stepped on his foot, and he says, "I'm sorry." And Rabbi Berg says, you know, that sorry doesn't do anything for me. That sorry doesn't mean anything. I want to teach you guys a spiritual lesson, so have patience. That sorry that you're saying, the act is already done. You already hurt my foot. So by you saying sorry doesn't change anything. What are the lessons of the Torah? What are the lessons of the Zohar? It says, when we carry, there is no accident in this world. Forget about accidents. We had accident in this class. There is no accident. The fact that the debris fell on somebody is not an accident. The fact the guy stepped on somebody's foot is not an accident. We're going to get to it. We're going to read the Zohar. The negativity that we carry within ourselves, its affect other people around us. I'm going to repeat. We are carrying negativity. We are carrying the hate, anger, judgment, whatever, jealousy that we carry, it affects what's happening around us. So the fact that the guy stepped on Rabbi's foot is not an accident. He didn't do it intentionally, but he's carrying some kind of a negative character like we all do. And those negative, like the Zohar says, you give the control of your life to the Satan, to the negative force. Of course he's going to step on other people's foot. Of course he's going to drop the tree on somebody's head. So who's controlling your life? You, the good inclination, your soul is controlling you. That when you walk around, only goodness happen around you. Or if you let the Satan control you, then constantly bad things happening around us. So as simple as stepping on somebody's foot is not an accident. It's the negativity that we all carry. Is the force that we all carry within ourselves that make us maybe hurt somebody unintentionally, but it is because of the negative force within us. To give an example, if they say if we drop our tefillin in the morning, we have to fast for a day. God forbid, chas v'shalom, if we drop the Torah in the Kenisa, we have to fast. It was an accident. It was not my fault. Why do I have to punish myself? So this wisdom says, it is your fault. It is your fault. Because we carry this negative force within us. Let's read from the Zohar, and then it explains it in a very beautiful way. So we are in book number 22, page 180, section 12. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. By reciting these Aramaic words from the Zohar, we are downloading, we are connecting to this awesome energy of the Zohar and the Torah that's going to help us to cleanse, to purify, to change our destiny to better by removing, by destroying these negative forces within us. אנשי ביתו אינן רמח איברים דייליה, דהחי וכמוהו מערי מתנינין, רשע עוונותיו חקוקים על עצמותיו, והכי צדיק זכויותיו חקוקים לו על עצמותיו. ובגין כך אמר דוד כל עצמותיי תאמרנה, ובגינה איתמר ומי מעידין על האדם קורות ביתו, גרמין בניונין על מוחה. דאייהו מיה ועליהו קר רמיז, המקרה במים עליותיו, המקרה לשון קורות. The member of his household are his 248 body parts. Since the body is called house, this is how the sages of the Mishnah have explained that the wicked person's sins are engraved on his bones. Similarly, the merits of a righteous man are engraved on his bones. I'm going to read this sentence again. They say here, The Mishnah have explained that the wicked person's sins are engraved on his bones. Similarly, the merit of a righteous man are engraved on his bones. We're going to move to page 183. We're going to read the English sentence from top to below. We're going to read the sixth sentence from the top. It says, "He that covers up his sins shall not prosper." Okay, what the Zohar says, he says, whatever we do is engraved on our bones, good or bad. And in Hebrew, again, the Hebrew language is amazing. Bone in Hebrew is etzem, but atzmut is also your essence. So in the word, in Hebrew language, the word your essence, what you are, and bones is the same word. He says whatever you are, if you are good or bad, or if you're half and half, or whatever, is engraved on your bone. You cannot hide it. You cannot pretend that you're a good person, but in reality you're not that good. You know, you can put, clothing, spiritual makeup, but whatever you are is on your bone. At night time when you sleep, you cannot fool the system, you cannot fool the universe, you cannot lie to the Creator. So we are great actors, we act great outside, but we need to investigate who we are inside. We have to remove whatever is hacked on our bones. So we have this coming month to search, analyze, and remove those negativities that we are carrying with ourselves. Trained people can look at you and tell you right away what kind of a person you are. They can, like in English, they can read between the lines. We usually fall for the clothing, makeup, the car, the speech of a person. But like Arya Kadosh, he knew, he could see your soul. He could see your past, he could see your future, he could see your atzmut, your bone, your essence. Or they call it the aura. You can see somebody's aura. So you can put up whatever face you want, but what you are is engraved in you. They can see it in the lines in your face. They can feel the light within you.
So your DNA.
Thank you very much. It's within your DNA. So I can come in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, write a big fat check. I can pray for 24/7. I can show up every morning for Selichot here, hit my heart, hit my head the whole month. But I'm going to be judged what's engraved in my bone, what I'm made of, not by my actions. So it takes a very strong will, it takes a very strong desire. I want to know myself, I want to analyze myself. I don't want to take bribes anymore, benefiting from those temporary lashon hara, judging, jealousy. And the second section we read, it says you cannot cover up. I mean, you cannot cover up the sins. You cannot cover up the negative character that you have. You can't. If I'm angel in my class and Kenisa and I go get angry and mad and hateful and create separation, you cannot hide it. And by the way, we have good angels and we have so-so angels. So guess where those angels go to hang out with? Those good angels go to somebody that his bones, his essences are good. Has these words hacked in his bones. Has the name of the Creator. He carries the name of the Creator. If I say the blessing, if I appreciate, if I follow the Torah and the Zohar, if I participate in Shabbat, so I'm attracting those good angels. We all need the Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, but they look at your bones, they look at your essence, who you are. Again, you can dress up, you can act in any way, nice way, but they follow of your essence. The same thing with the negative angels. Why negative action follow another negative action, and another negative action, and another negative action? Because we are tracking those angels. And a good deed follow another good deed and another good deed. Because those angels, the good or bad, are guiding us. We talk about Shabbat, you know, one of the laws of the Torah is Shabbat. We talk about judges and policemen. How many times Shabbat is mentioned in Torah? 1,000 times. So the biggest law of the Torah is Shabbat. You want to have the right judge, you want to have the right policeman, you want the gates to open to you, you have to participate in the Shabbat practice. None of this is going to work without Shabbat. Shabbat been holy for us for 5,000 years. Why? Because without Shabbat we cannot, you know, go any further. We cannot look into ourselves. We cannot have prosperity. In Shabbat we reach Bina. You know, no other days of the week we can reach Bina. Bina is all the goodness, the light force of the God, the Creator. On Shabbat, I analyze myself. I see how much bad I done during that week. No other week we have a chance to do it. In Olamot, in Shabbat, we reach the Olam Atzilut, is the highest level of the universes. So without participating in Shabbat, you know, we're not going to make it. Our soul, our judge, our policeman needs the energy of Shabbat. What is the next story that the Torah is talking about? Like I told you, there was two stories in the Torah. The second one is, they said, we're going to read it this Shabbat. They said, you are walking on the desert, in the middle of nowhere. We see a dead body. We see a dead person laying down in the desert. So the Torah says, you're going to measure. You take a measurement and you measure from that body to the nearest city. Let's say there's 2 cities. So whatever city is closer to that dead body, that city is responsible for the death of that person. Are we clear? We got it?
No, say it again, please.
So they said this week's parasha.
You mean to be buried there?
No. There is a dead man in the desert. So they're going to look for a responsible. You know, maybe he got murdered, maybe he got killed. You know, they're looking for the responsible. Who's responsible? So the Torah says the closest city, the closest town or village to that person is responsible for that death, regardless if they were, you know, innocent or not. The closest city are responsible.
We're talking about distance.
Distance. What is the lesson for us? What's the Torah trying to teach us? What does it have to do with me? What does it have to do with the month of Virgo? So the first story was, if I cause any harm to anybody unintentionally, the Torah and the Zohar says it is intentional. You are not doing it, but the negative force within you that you are feeding it, constantly doing it. This time around, the Torah is trying to teach us, whatever happened in our environment, we are responsible for it too. Whatever happened to us in our environment, we are part of the environment. If I come to the class and I'm sitting here quietly, something happened in the back of the class, we are responsible. Because the negative force, again, that we carry within ourselves, cause our environment not to have balance neither. when it says take responsibility, not to blame ourselves, not to punish ourselves, not to hurt ourselves, not to judge ourselves in a bad way, but we have to learn that whatever happened in our environment, we are responsible for it too. Maybe there is an argument in the house. I'm not part of that argument. But the Torah says you are responsible. Whatever it is in our bone that we carry everywhere affect the environment around us too. We all know a positive person come to the room, we all feel good. A negative person come to the room, not necessarily we feel good. So even if I'm not responsible, even if I'm not even have to do nothing with that incident, the Zohar says if it's in your environment, if it's in your plate, if it's in your house, if it's at your workplace, if it's around you, you are responsible for it. We have to take responsibility to correct ourselves so our environment is not going to suffer neither.
Because we didn't create enough light.
Not. First, we are in a month of cleansing. Of course, we have to create light. You know, like I said, the negativity is engraved in our bone. I can still create light. Maybe you don't know me at work. Maybe I'm an angry person at work. But when I come to my class, I create light. Yes, I create light. But during my work time, I'm an angry person. You don't know that. But it's engraved within our bones. So this month is not about creating light, it's about cleansing ourselves, about purifying ourselves, taking out all these negativities. You know what Aaron Gadol, Aaron Kohen Gadol had on his forehead? The word Yud Hey Vav Hey. Why? I mean, you see it in the pictures. Why they have that? And Metzach, the bone, the forehead is the most important bone we have. You know how they read your forehead, they can tell you who you are. He says we have to bring ourselves to the point that our essence, who we are, on my bones is going to say Yud Hey Vav Hey. Not, any other negative behavior or actions or speak or talk. What is our timing, Susie June? How far we are? There's so much more to talk.
I think we have another 15 minutes.
15 minutes. So is that clear, the two examples that the Torah giving us, that we are responsible to whatever we do happen to us, even if it's intentional? And we also responsible what happened in our environment. We carry these forces. If we carry positive things happen to us, around us, and in the environment. If we carry negativity, then negative things going to happen around us. So, how can I cleanse myself? What do? I look into myself, I recognize, the negative aspect of me. There is one sentence in the Torah. It says, like I read for you, justice you shall follow, so your God give you all the blessing. It says your God, Elohecha, not Elohim, Elohecha, your individual God. So what? There is Elohecha in Hebrew means your God. Every one of us has his own God. But that's the beauty of the Torah and the Zohar. It explains the word Elohecha. I'm not going to write it down. Elohecha and Achila is the same word. Achila in Hebrew means eating. Not only eating food, eating, the last two classes was about ears and eyes. We are receiving, we are digesting constantly information through our eyes, ears, and also mouth. So the Torah says, be righteous, so your God gives you blessing. And they explain that it means achila. It says the first thing that we do I want to change myself, what's entering my body? You know, religiously, for the past thousands of years, they told us to have a restriction on the food that we eat. But now, you know, all this wisdom is open to us. It's not only the food. It's what's enter my conscious, my eyes, what's enter my ears. We had 2 classes about this. We have to be careful how we look at the world and what we look at, and also what we are hearing and what we're listening. So akhila, what comes inside you. And last week we said, yeah, you eat a pig, you act like a pig. And you eat Etz HaChaim, you eat Torah, you act like the Torah. So the first action is akhila, what we eat. And you know, it's huge in Judaism, it's huge in religious that we have to say blessing, you know, for everything you eat. Yeah, you know, we see a lot, we hear a lot, but also we eat a lot. We eat, you know, at least 3 meals a day and many other snacks. So what are you entering your body? You know, you remember last week we talked about extract the essence of the God from every opportunity you have. You're eating the food, okay, I want to satisfy my body, I need the energy to move on, but also take advantage of that opportunity to enter the name Yud Hey Vav He into your system, into your body. If you just chew it and swallow it, you just ate the food. But if you say the blessing for it, if you say the name, say Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, if you say those words, in a quantum level, you're injecting the name of the Creator into that food and you're putting that food into your body. Do you remember a long time ago, before we knew Kabbalah, we had a misfortune in the family, there was a sickness, there was an issue, you go to a rabbi, you tell them, Rabbi, I have so many problems. They told you to do two things. They used to tell you to do 2 things. Eat kosher and keep Shabbat, right? And all your problems are going to be solved. So that was a small thinking, it is good, it is correct, but now we can understand in a better way. So it's not in a religious way. On Shabbat I come to receive this awesome energy, to these angels, you know, connection, to reach the light of Bina, to reach the light of Atzilut. If I put the food in my mouth, maybe I cannot say the words in front of other people, maybe I don't know the words. It's not only about the words, it's about appreciation. It's about being aware. You know how you eat the food when you're angry and upset? You have a meal, you get a stomachache, right? Do you have, when you're angry, when you're nervous, you're watching a bad news on TV and you're eating, you cannot digest that food, you get a stomachache. But on Shabbat, you know, we say the blessing, you know, we sing, we dance, we say the prayer, and then we eat the food. I sleep like a baby. You know, it feels so good. So when I'm nervous and angry and upset and jealous and complaining and judging eating the food, in reality we are entering poison into our system. But in the other hand, when you do it by appreciation, when you do it by understanding, you know there is a light of the Creator within that food that I don't want it to run away from my body in, you know, a few hours. I want to keep that light within my body. So I inject the names, I appreciate it, I say the blessing to it. I enter this, you know, awesome thing into my body, not a poison. That was the first point. The second point is, we talk about it all the time, it's other gods. Other gods. You know, one of the commandments, don't have other gods. Other gods like all I care about is my financial. You know, like Amirjun knows very well, you know, he has many students that their gods are drugs, their alcohol, their sexual behaviors. Don't have other gods. There is no other God. Don't make the jealousy your God. Don't make the anger your God. The only God that we know is the God of cause and effect. Whatever I do, whatever I say, I'm going to see the effect of it. And no other gods, not only in a religious way, that finding my purpose. The God of the Torah is all the goodness. And the third one is the physical world. You know, why? The reason I give these three ways to know ourselves, because it's very hard. We don't want to do it. We don't want to pay attention to what we eat and see and hear all the time. It's difficult. And having other gods, it takes a process. It takes knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Torah, how awesome it is, that I have to let go of all the other gods. And the third one is physical world. How important, how much I'm attached into the physical world. There was a good example. It says, you know, you bought a brand new car, and somebody gonna put a scratch on it. You're gonna fight, you're gonna hate, you're gonna ruin your family, you're gonna ruin your Shabbat, you're gonna cry and complain about the scratch on the car, you're gonna ruin who you are over a scratch. So don't be so attached to this physical world. It's not the size of the house, it's not the size of the car, it's not the looks, it's not the amount of the dollar amount that you have. Try to detach yourself and give a chance to the spirituality too. Don't let the physical world for you to hack this negativity, this hate, this anger into your system. So, did we reach the 1 hour?
Yes.
There is more to talk about, so I guess we're going to do it after we shut down the camera. Just to finish up, this month is about judging, is about analyzing, but judging other people is cold, judging ourselves is correct. We want to stay away from judging anybody or any situation in the next month. Instead, we want to create light and warmth. The other side, the flip side of judging is warmth, is unity, is kindness and love to each other instead of judging. So I wish you guys a good night. I wish you guys Rosh Chodesh Tov and have a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much.